Hello class. Welcome to your first day of English 101. Today we will be learning about grammatical modifiers.
What is a modifier?
A modifier is a word that modifies another word, a phrase, or a clause.
Oh, so is it like an adjective?
Not exactly, but you're on the right track. A modifier can either act as an adjective or an adverb.
Okay, so how does this work?
When a modifier acts as an adjective, it modifies nouns and pronouns. When a modifier acts as an adverb, it modifies verbs, adjectives, and other adverbs.
I'm confused.
Here, let me explain more.
To understand what a modifier is, you have to first understand what adjectives and adverbs are. An adjective modifies a noun or a pronoun by describing, identifying, or quantifying words. An adjective usually precedes the noun or the pronoun in which it modifies. Take the example, she knits intricately patterned mittens. In this example, the adverb intricately modifies the adjective patterned. An adverb can modify a verb, an adjective, another adverb, a phrase, or a clause. An adverb indicates manner, time, place, cause, or degree, and answers questions such as how, when, where, and how much. In this example, the adverb patiently modifies the verb waited and describes the manner in which she waited. Here are some more examples of modifiers acting as an adjective. In the adjective phrases, the word curious modifies she. In the second example, the word productive modifies meeting, and in the third example, the word quick modifies lunch. Here are some examples of modifiers acting as adverbs. In the adverb phrases, the word curiously modifies looked. In the second example, the word highly modifies productive, and in the third example, the word very modifies quickly.
Now that we understand what adjectives and adverbs are, let's move into how we use them in phrases. Phrases can also function as modifiers, and within this, they can be categorized into adjective and adverb phrases.
Do you mind explaining this more?
Sure.
A modifier phrase is a phrase that acts as a modifier. Neither modifiers nor modifier phrases are required by a clause's syntax. A modifying phrase is one that describes something. Here's an example of an incorrectly used modifying phrase. Example: ever since her paw was crushed in the front door, Miss Benson has been worried about Muffin, her pet cat. Instead of writing the sentence this way, the sentence should be changed because the modifying phrase isn't next to the item it modifies, which is Benson, her cat. One way to correct this sentence would be to arrange it in this form. Ever since her paw was crushed in the front door, Miss Benson's pet cat, Muffin, has been a source of worry to her owner.
Do you understand this now?
Yes, thank you.
Now that we know how to use modifiers in phrases, let's learn about misplaced, dangling, and squinty modifiers, along with how to correctly use the word only in a sentence. Okay, class.
Think of a modifier as an arrow, and the word, phrase, or clause it modifies as a target. A modifier should always be placed as near as possible to the word that modifies. In this example, we can see how the position of the modifier changes the meaning in these three sentences. A misplaced modifier is a word, phrase, or clause that lands in the wrong place in the sentence. In this example, that she bought yesterday is the modifier, and hat is what it wants to modify. As it reads, that she bought yesterday modifies head and does not make sense. Clearly, Sharon did not buy her head yesterday. To fix this problem, we move the arrow closer to the target. Sharon put the hat that she bought yesterday on her head. By moving the modifier closer to the target word, the phrase now makes sense. A dangling modifier has no word to logically modify. In other words, the modifier describes a word that does not appear in the sentence. In this example, the modifier is sitting on the floor, which describes somebody who's not in the sentence. The only possible noun for it to modify is hours, but it's pretty obvious that the hours are not sitting on the floor. To fix this problem, we add a subject to be modified. Here, Eric is clearly sitting on the floor, while the hours are dragging by slowly. One of the most common mistakes with misplaced modifiers is misusing the word only. The word only limits or shows contrast. The issue here is not that Jessica only took one test, as opposed to passing one test, failing one test, or refusing to take one test. The issue is that Jessica took only one test, as opposed to taking 2 or 3 tests. Here, the word only is the arrow, and the target is the word one. To correct the misplaced modifier error, move the modifier next to the word it modifies. Jessica took only one test yesterday. In this example, only modifies be, although we want only to modify you. The correct way of saying this would be, I want to be with only you.
Okay, class, does anyone have any questions on what we've learned today?
No, but thank you. Your examples helped clear up my confusion immensely.
Of course.
Thank you for watching, and remember to use modifiers correctly.